the radio. So won't you pick up, then we can link up. It's not a hookup. Don't think about it too much, too much. You just need to pick up, then we can link up. Don't think about it too much, too much. Don't think about it too much, too much. Don't think about it too much, too much, too much, too much, too much, too much. Do you think about the days when we sat down smoking wine and drinking haze? Or was it the other way? Was it the other way? Swing now, come on, chill with me. I got your favorite show, we got it on my TV, but we don't have to watch that, no. I'll turn off the radio. So won't you pick up, then we can link up. It's not a hookup. Don't think about it too much, too much. You just need to pick up, then we can link up. Don't think about it too much, too much. Don't think about it too much, too much. Don't think about it too much, too much. Don't think about it too much, too much, too much. Swing round, come on, chill with me. I got your favorite show, we got it on my TV, but we don't have to watch that, no. I'll turn off the radio. So won't you pick up, then we can link up. It's not a hookup. Don't think about it too much, too much. You just need to pick up, then we can link up. Don't think about it too much, too much. Don't think about it too much, too much. Don't think about it too much, too much, too much, too much, too much, too much. Do you think about the days when we sat down smoking wine and drinking haze? Or was it the other way? Was it the other way? Swing now, come on, chill with me. I got your favorite show, we got it on my TV, but we don't have to watch that, no. I'll turn off the radio. So won't you pick up, then we can link up. It's not a hookup. Don't think about it too much, too much. You just need to pick up, then we can link up. Don't think about it too much, too much. Don't think about it too much, too much. Don't think about it too much, too much. Don't think about it too much, too much, too much,
Future of virtual motorsports is now. This September, the heart of sim racing beats in Chicagoland as the Sim Gaming Expo takes over the Schaumburg Convention Center, September 5th through the 7th. Go wheel to wheel in our competition area, test the latest gear, meet top brands, creators, and celebrate with fellow sim racing enthusiasts. Whether you're a seasoned sim racer or new to the sport, this is your chance to be part of history. To purchase tickets and see the full exhibitor lineup, visit simgamingexpo.com.
Here at TWRS, we're always here to help our squad when they need a little push in the right direction. That's just who we are. We're a beautifully diverse group of goofballs dedicated to driving fake race cars as fast as possible. And we continue to push each other to the front using the power of nonsense. We have one of the strongest NASCAR programs on the service, and you can access it all for $24.99 a month. And we just released individual subscriptions for $14.99 a month for each NASCAR vehicle. We also just added a Rallycross program, and our IndyCar program is taking off as well. So come join the weird side. We have speed and cookies. Cookies are not included in some locations.
Man, this is some of the greatest stuff I've ever heard. Ooh.
These go to 11.
And 3, 2, 1, go.
Good evening, race fans, and welcome to the lovely Richmond Raceway for round 14 of the Southern Thunder Truck Series. We are back short tracking here on Inside Lane Productions, and I am looking forward to this one. I'm James Watson with my commentary partner, Mark Joe, and of course, Kobe behind the scenes, clicking the buttons and doing all the annoying, tedious stuff that I absolutely want nothing to do with. But yeah, how you doing tonight, Mark?
Yeah, good. Good to be back up here in the broadcast booth with you boys, and back for a very little challenging track. A track that's only 0.75 of a mile long, and some very different characters are out here on this track, and things you have to be careful of tonight.
Absolutely, this one is not for the faint of heart. There's a reason why they always called this place the action track, and we're going to see plenty of action here tonight.
Big way to champion.
And let's go ahead and get started and talk about our current point standings. You have Brad Newman continuing to lead the points with 6 wins and a 108-point lead over Ruben Phelps in second. Lucky Urquijo, Matty Raymond, and Brian Blundell rounding out the top 5. Andy Barber, Mark Grocott, Ryan Barber, Brad White, and Jason Holdsworth, your top 10 so far. Right, and now let's go over to our keys to the race. Key number 1, brake and entry management. This track is notoriously hard on the brakes. One of the things that always sticks with you when you watch a race here at Richmond is when you're seeing the brake disc just absolutely glowing orange as they're going through the corners. So you really gotta keep an eye on that, and where actually you're braking into the corner. This track is very line sensitive, so if you're driving it in too hard and too deep, you're just going to be costing yourself so much time and tire life. Key number 2, your drive off of the corner. You got to be really conscientious of how much throttle you're putting into this thing. There is no other track that is harder to hold on to the rear grip worse than Richmond. You're going to see these guys getting real sideways off of the corner. You just feel the car doing a burnout every time you're getting off of the corner. So if you're not careful, you're going to spin and you're going to get very up close and personal with the inside wall or the grass, depending on which half of the track you do it. And key number 3, track position and pit timing. Richmond is notoriously hard to pass. It is bottom dominant until you're trying to get by someone. Then the outside line is where it likes to shine. If you're trying to get by someone, you're going to have to do it on the outside. Otherwise, you might be at it for a few laps. And so you might want to try the undercut strategy, but you gotta hope that there's no cautions, because if you get a caution after you pit, you're probably going to be 1 to 2 laps down.
100% correct, James. This place is notorious. You really have to get your pit stops correct and pray that there is no caution come out after you pit.
Indeed, and now it's time for the picks of the race. Let's go ahead and start with you, Mark. Who's your pick?
I've got to go Ruben Phelps. I think he's a short track master. I've watched him here over a few years, and he seems to always just have the right strategy for this joint.
Alrighty, Kobe, who's your pick?
This week I'm going with Lockie. He's proven to have talent on these types of courses, and I would not be surprised one little bit to see him at the pointy end come the last 10 laps.
Absolutely, and I'm going to go with the man, the myth, the legend, Ryan Barber. I think he'll get it done tonight here at Richmond. As we see qualifications starting to take place, 42 of Lucky Urquijo out on track right now. So far, Brenton Henderson with the fastest time with a 22.2027. And new quick time, Lucky Urquijo, 21.581. He jumps to the top of the timing stands. As you see, Ryan Barber is very not pleased that I picked him. Oh well, suffering from success, I guess. As you see, Brad Wright making his way for qualifying. I think we're on board with the 86 right now. Only 3 drivers to put in a time so far. Blundell's first lap, a 22.443. We also have Tim Blundell making his way out on track. And there's our new driver for tonight, Kute Dahl in the 55. I'm probably absolutely butchering that pronunciation somewhere. My apologies. And new quick time. Ruben Phelps jumps to the top spot. 21.549. 06 takes over provisional pole. So we see our points leader, Brad Newman, in the 33, making his way out on track. And our newbie, Kute, bringing it to P2 with the 21.550, 1,000 off of Ruben Phelps for the top spot. Matty Raymond making his way out to qualifying right now. I believe he just started his first lap. And new quick time, Brad Newman takes over the top spot, a 21.503. About half a tenth faster than now second place Ruben Phelps. Matty Raymond bringing it off a turn for his second lap. Oh, and he hits the wall. That's gonna kill that lap. That's going to leave Raymond in 7th for now. Alrighty, well, I think it's time we go ahead and take one quick break. So we'll take a breath and take a break, and we'll head to commercial. See you soon.
If you love the thrill of racing but hate the risks, then buckle up. Everything Simulated is here to merge adrenaline with absolute safety. In a world where technology meets adrenaline, Everything Simulated is revolutionizing driver training with state-of-the-art simulators. From truck training to the thrill of motorsports, our simulators offer the most realistic experiences across all automotive applications. Gone are the days of endless bookwork and basic drills. Now it's all about hands-on, pulse-pounding action that prepares you for the real deal. Whether you're maneuvering a heavy mining vehicle or racing a high-speed car, our simulators, equipped with cutting-edge technology from leaders like SimRigs and TrackRacer, bring every nuance of the drive to life. And talk about making a mark. We're not just building simulators, we're fostering talent. From grassroots motorsports to professional series like the Aussie Outlaw GT3, sponsored by us, Everything Simulated is fueling dreams and careers. Ready to feel the excitement of the racetrack under your fingertips? Connect with us, and let's build your next simulator adventure together. Remember, we support those who support us. Join the Everything Simulated family, and let's race towards the future.
And welcome back, and we are just in time to see our racers making their way onto the starting grid. And speaking of the starting grid, let's tell you where everyone ended up. Your front row, the 33 of Brad Newman and the 06 of Ruben Phelps. Your top two, starting top two tonight. Kute Dahl in the 55 and Lucky Urquijo in the 42 on row 2. Brad Wright and Brian Blundell on row 3. 83 of Matty Raymond and the 4 of Tim Blundell on row 4. And rounding out the top 10, the 194 of Ryan Barber and the 81 of Brenton Henderson.
Row 6, you got Peter Jones in the 66 and Colin Bennett in the 242. Row 7 is Mark Grocott in the number 73 and Zach Blundell in the truck 26, rounding out the field tonight of our 14 starters.
Alrighty, there you have it. And I believe we are getting ready to pull off as we speak.
What I might do, James, just quickly is some key points to keep an eye on tonight is fuel. Everyone's telling me around 105 to 108 laps in fuel here. So it should be a one-stopper, but that depends on the tyres. They're saying about 80 to 90 laps on tyres, and they can stretch it out to that 105 if they look after it. But the key thing here is that this place is set up dependent. So they're going to have to keep an eye on that right front and the rears, as you're saying, getting in and off the corners. So just can't burn up those rear tyres. Otherwise, we will find guys looking at the inside wall.
Absolutely, and that's something you got to worry about when you do decide to bring it down pit road, is that if someone else struggling on those rear tires, they make their way to the inside wall and suddenly you find yourself down a lap or two. So risk versus reward, how cheeky do you want to be with that pit strategy?
Yeah, this place has really got three lines. You've got to pick your line that you're going to run and really stick to it. Upper high against the fence. That's where I like to run around this joint. I'm a top feeder. Then, as you said, there's it's a bottom line, and then that mid track. So you're going to have to wait and see how these guys want to run this track early on, and see what line comes in the quickest.
Absolutely. As we see our field making their way into 3 and 4, pace car makes that hard left-hand turn onto pit road. Brad Newman will lead us to the restart zone. Green means go. We're underway at Richmond. Good jump from Newman there on the inside. Phelps is going to have to battle side by side with Dahl. He's going way up, running that middle line there side by side off of 2 for P2. Phelps edging ahead just a bit, and he will clear the 55 and take over P2. And now Quijo trying to make his way around the 55. And they are still side by side. Brad Newman will hold on to the lead for lap 1. And I think there might have been an issue for the 81 of Brenton Henderson. He is well off of the pack right now. 5 seconds off of the next... apparently he might have started from the pits. That's a report we're getting.
James, I can confirm he started from pit lane.
Interesting. Must had some sort of issue there for the 81, but at least he's out on track, and so far he is still on the lead lap, which is the important thing. As we see,
definitely don't want to go down a lap this early in the race, otherwise it makes a long night for him.
Yeah, because you have to hope for a caution, and caution isn't going to be guaranteed, and it's easy to lose multiple laps here if you're not careful. That's the thing about these short tracks. As we see 194 Ryan Barber making his way to the inside of Matty Raymond. They're side by side off of turn 4. Raymond edging just a little bit ahead as we dive off into turn 1. Barber's gonna clear. Move Ryan Barber up to P7. And Tim Blundell looking to follow him through past the 83. So look like he'll be able to get the run, so he'll tuck back in. Alrighty, we're seeing a lot of difference in lines, like you said, Mark. Got a few guys running the middle. Good chunk of guys running the inside. A lot of difference in line choice already.
Yeah, a lot of it at the moment is reminding me of speedway racing, making the track into a diamond. They're coming down through 1 and 2 down on that pole line, then drifting back up to the high line. There's a few guys now starting to look at that middle lane. Then 3 and 4, they're back down apexing and then drifting back up to the high line. A little bit of a procession at the moment, but everyone's looking to get through that first stage and get to their service for their first pit stop.
Yeah, I think this is going to probably be the theme for tonight. This is a long race. 175 laps is a long time around Richmond. So you're basically just kind of having to tick laps off here for the most part, as Ryan Barber makes his way around Brian Blundell up into P6, and Matty Raymond tries to follow him through, and he will. Matty Raymond will take over P7. And now Brian's got to put up with another Blundell right behind him. Tim trying to see if he can get by.
And back up the front there, we've just got Newman now starting to get a bit of a gap over Phelps. Just starting to drive away into the distance a little bit here. But those TWRS trucks, they're known for just hanging back, and then that last stage of the race really coming home strong.
Absolutely, and that's something you got to manage if you're sitting basically anywhere on the track that isn't the race lead. You got to manage that dirty air. So you might see some guys maybe try to back off maybe about a second or so to get some amount of clean air to just try to help nurse these tires as long as you can. Because just staying right there in someone's wake about half a second or so, it's just going to be nothing but pain and punishment for that right front.
Yeah, 100%. I just going through the track stats. I actually forgot how short that back straight is. It's only 860 foot long, so it's a bit of a real sprint. Hard on the gas, as hard as you can be out of turn 2 without turning the truck around, and then really jumping off the gas, and as you said, getting hard on the brakes to get it back down into 3 and 4, James.
Yeah, that's the thing about this place is you really don't get a good enough appreciation for how short it actually is until you're out on track and you're like, I really don't have a lot of time to rest and think here on these straightaways. They're just so small. It feels like the corners take up most of the track length, because you feel like you're in these corners for an eternity, and then you're only on the straightaways for like maybe a couple blinks of your eye, and that's it.
Yeah, definitely 100%. And when you look at it, the front straight really isn't a straight; it's a D, and it's 1,290 foot long. So there's still really just a continuous left turn through that once you get into turn 3 through the exit of turn 4 R2.
Absolutely, as we see a pass for P5, replay of Ryan Barber making his way past Dahl to get up into P5, and Dahl kind of got the wall a little bit off of turn 2.
Yeah, you can afford to touch the wall here just gently, but you don't want to go doing it lap after lap, because that's going to throw that body panel down the right. It's not a big aero track, but you still need that aero to keep that truck straight.
Absolutely, and you especially got to be careful with these things. Those sheet metal bodies are sensitive. As we see Ryan Barber going the long way around Brad Wright, and Barber's going to get the wall a little bit himself off of turn 2. That looked a little bit of a harder hit than what Dahl had. Wow, a lot of sparks come off of the 194. You hope he's okay, but like I said, these body panels are sensitive. This is still the old-fashioned sheet metal body panels, not the composite bodies like the Xfinity and the next-gen cars have. So if you make contact, you're gonna bend something, and it's not gonna bounce back. And like you said, it's not that much of an aero track because it's so small, but as far as short tracks go, it is pretty aero dependent. If you don't have that side force, you're gonna be suffering quite a bit as this race goes on.
100% correct. The other interesting thing here too is it's fairly high banking, and we're at 14 degrees through 1 and 2, 3 and 4. So there's some good banking here. So that's why they're getting down into that pole line and really using that banking to get that slingshot off into the straights.
Absolutely, but it's such a double-edged sword as you see Brendan Henderson making his way past Mark Grocott to get up into 11th. Brendan on the comeback trail after starting from pit lane. So far, so good, as he's only 4 seconds off of Colin Bennett to get back up into the top 10, where he started in P10. But yeah, and another unique thing about this track, and we were talking about this in the pre-race with Ryan Barber and Colin Bennett. It's really unique when you get off of turn 2 and you actually feel that banking drop away. Like you feel the rear of the truck just drop down, like you're driving off a couple steps. It feels so steep, and it's so easy to get the wheel spinning because of that. As you see the 81 getting loose and battle of the Blundells. Tim's gonna make his way past Brian to get up into 8th.
Yeah, it's a big, definitely a big drop, as you're saying, James. We go from 14 degrees in the turn, and the back straight is only got 2 degrees banking on it. So no wonder it feels like you're running downhill. It reminds me of the old Devil's Bowl Speedway in Texas, where you run uphill into 1 and 2 and downhill in 3 and 4. And wasn't that fun trying to get the gearing right?
Yeah, you're not wrong about that. As we see Brad Wright and Dahl battling for P6, as Matty Raymond has gotten by Dahl to get himself up into the top 5. So
biggest mover. Sorry.
Nope. Go on.
I was just going to say our biggest mover tonight's been Ryan Barber. He started down in 9th and currently running in 4th. So he's been a man on the moves tonight. So and biggest loser is Blundell in the 86 minus, down 3 spots. No,
yeah.
Got that wrong. It was Dahl down 4 spots.
Yeah, it was a fantastic effort from the 55 to put it P3 on the grid, but yeah, down to P7 already. Just tried to find his footing here as we're starting to get into what's considered to be a pretty decently long run here at Richmond. You know, races at Richmond, they tend to fall into 1 to 2 categories. You either get absolute dumpster fire caution fest where half the field gets nuked at some point, or long run filled races where you're just focused on conserving your fuel, conserving your tires, racing the racetrack, and hope that your strategy and your conservation skills can bring you to the front when the closing laps finally roll around.
Yeah, like people say, oh, there's only a small field, but that does lead to some great green flag racing. As I'm just looking out of the 33 windscreen on my camera here, Brad Newman, he's now starting to catch up to the rear marker of Zach Blundell, I believe it is. That's not that far in front of him. So we'll see our first car go down after 35 or 36 laps of the race.
Yeah, you hit the nail on the head. I think, you know, bigger field races aren't necessarily the greatest thing ever when it comes to a short track. I was doing a broadcast at this very track a couple weeks ago with 40 Gen 4s and 400 laps to complete. Yeah! Oh boy, that certainly was a time, that's for sure. Half the field was gone before we even got to lap 200. We did finally end up getting a lot more green flag runs after that, but yeah, the first 170 laps of that race was certainly something. But yeah, if you ask me as a broadcaster, and I'm sure that a lot of the fans watching at home will agree, you know, green flag racing is a bit more enjoyable to watch. It's a lot more fun watching these guys try to battle with each other, trying to stretch their stuff out, trying to be as fast as they can without completely annihilating their tires, and just seeing who's the best after the laps are completed. You know, crashes are always interesting to some degree, but, you know, the enjoyment of that only goes so far.
Yeah, 100% correct. I'm just keeping an eye on Brad Newman up front. He's now really what we call in Speedway diming, making the track in a diamond shape. So out against the wall, down through the main straight or the D, then comes back down onto the pole line, as you can see here. Probably a half a truck off that pole line, then just lets the truck have its nose and back up to the front, and then back down in 3 and 4, back down to that pole line again. Only about half a truck off that pole line, that yellow line.
So let me ask you this, Mark. What is the line that you like to run here at Richmond as you see Newman put Zach Blundell 1 lap down?
I prefer the high line. I just find that's best on the tyres. You've got to be millimetre or inch perfect. But it just seems that really looks after the tyres the best.
We got a replay here real quick of the battle between the 19 and the 55. Dahl, he pulls a little bit of a crossover, sends it to the inside of the 19. Oh, pulls a little bit of a slide job, and he's going to clear Brad Wright. Brad Wright looking to the inside, trying to take it back. They're still side by side. Off a turn 2. I think the 19 got a little loose. Dahl's going to clear him, and now he's going to pull away. Fantastic stuff from the 55. But yeah, it's honestly, when it comes to the line I like to run here, I'm much more of a bottom feeder when it comes to practically anything. Because like the way I've been told, and what I've always noticed myself too, is that on the sim, running the bottom saves tires a lot more, which is the exact opposite of what you're doing in real life. So because of that, I've trained myself to be able to run the bottom basically at all times. So that's what I'm doing here at Richmond. I'm kind of taking a bit of an early entry in, maybe staying about half a car width off of the yellow lines until we get to where the exit starts to tighten off of turn 2, and then I drift up just a little bit and try to straight shot it off, run the diamond like you were talking about, and that way it allows me to get better traction off of the corner, be able to get on the throttle earlier and not have to worry about my vehicle having any issues going over that steep decline off of the banking, because I'm not really getting all that close to it. And then right here through 3 and 4, I turn in early, get to that yellow line, and then just kind of start to drift out just a little bit as the corner starts to open up, but still again maintaining that straight shot off to just try to conserve those tires as best as I can.
Yeah, it's you look at this joint and then you look at Bristol. I know Bristol's a different track, different surface. A lot of people love to run the bottom at both of these tracks. I know another person that is complete opposite like me and loves to run that high line against the fence at both tracks. I guess when I get down close to coming in for service, I start to look at that bottom line. But yeah, on full tanks and early in the stage, it's definitely a high line for me.
And that's the thing about Richmond, is that some of these higher lines can be a lot more viable than you think. So you definitely see a lot of people trying to make that middle line work, as Matty Raymond's starting to reel in the 194, starting to get ever closer to the tailgate of Ryan Barber, trying to take the space back. You saw Barber get by Matty Raymond earlier in the race. Now Matty wants that spot back.
The question you got to ask James, is and I'd say now 50 laps into this race, Ryan made some hard charging moves. His tyres got to be starting to hurt now.
I think you're right on the money with that, Mark. You can always tell the guys that are most aggressive and gain all those spots early on are probably gonna lose a couple of them at least as the run goes on. You've really gotta, and that's the thing about tire conservation is you've gotta be so disciplined and just focus on taking care of your stuff early. That's the thing, because another thing that I've been taught on the sim, and again, that it has always felt like it is true with my actual applied knowledge and experience, is that the early laps of a run is the most critical when it comes to saving tires. You know, those that are disciplined and conserve early from the first 5, 10, 15 laps are the guys in the best position as the run goes on. So if you're not disciplined, you're gonna be suffering. And it's so hard for us race car drivers because we're so accustomed to, and we want to be, you know, aggressive from the get-go. And if you're getting past, you're like, oh heck, this isn't right. I can't be getting past. This is the opposite of what I'm trying to do. But you know that you're gonna get those spots back later. If you just stick with it, you're gonna get them back, and you might be getting a few extra guys on top of that who weren't as disciplined as you.
Yeah, I see. I'm different. I come from a speedway background, so for me, it's I've had to learn the hard way, and I think I've kind of sort of got it half right now with the dirt track stuff. You've got to get out and go hard from the get-go, because you've only got in the heat races, you've only got 12 to 15 laps, and you've got to make up those spots, especially if you're down back. But again, with this type of race in the asphalt oval, you really got to look after those tyres and got to get through to that first two stages, and with looking after the tyres and just letting people go if they want to go. That's been the hardest thing for me to learn.
Absolutely, because yeah, you bring it up in the dirt track world. You know, races aren't all that long oftentimes, so you don't have time to really think about tire saving. You just gotta go balls to the wall from the drop of the green.
Yeah,
because we got battle. Oh, sorry to interrupt you, Mark.
Yeah, no, we've just got a battle here between the 242 Colin Bennett and the 19 of Brad Wright. Been running side by side there for a couple of laps as we've been chatting away, James. But we were talking about a few paint jobs before we went air, and I've got to say that 242 truck definitely needs to have purple wheels on it. It's just missing that little bit of an edge to the paint scheme, I think.
Yeah, and Colin's probably going to be watching this confused, like, hang on, you told me you would beat me up if I put purple rims on.
Yeah, as far as I'm aware, there's only one person allowed to run purple wheels, and that's Paul Jackson, one of our guys here in Australia.
Yes,
but,
sir.
Sorry, I was just going to say, we see the 19 truck fighting back now. Brad Wright trying to get back under Bennett there, but he's decided to drop back in behind and just run behind him until probably he gets another fresh set of tyres on.
Yeah, and you know, it's interesting that this battle is taking place, you know, because Brad Wright, he also had a fantastic qualifying run. He started on the, I believe, was it top P5? Yeah. So, and now he's almost barely hanging on to the top 10. So this first long run, we see Colin Bennett sideways off the corner. This is actually Colin's first ever laps under green here at Richmond. He just bought the track right before the race started, and for as difficult as Richmond can be, he's doing a phenomenal job here, just running a absolutely solid P8 and keeping her clean and green in the purple and white. That will probably have purple rims here for next week's race.
I might have to come back and just check. But it's strange, isn't it? You like I've been involved now with Sims since 2019, and it just seems like there's guys that suit different tracks. Some guys are specialists at super speedways. Then there's other guys and it looks like Colin Bennett's going to be one of them. Just a short track can come straight in and master the short track racing. It's interesting that guys can just jump in and be and master a track straight up.
Yeah, you make an excellent point, Lag. I always like to, highlight myself in these discussions because I am a short track and a road course guy. Put me at those two types of tracks, I am very happy, and I typically run and finish quite well. Not to, toot my own horn too much, but put me on anything about a mile or bigger, I suck. I am hopeless at intermediate tracks. I don't know what I'm doing wrong, and I don't know what I need to do right, but yeah, my average finishes on intermediates is vastly different than my average finishes on short tracks and road courses, and you got a lot of guys who are the opposite. They don't typically enjoy short tracks and road courses, but put them at big tracks and you're not going to catch them. They're just going to set sail. So that's the thing about, racing, and that's the thing about, the schedule we have and real life has, is that if you want to be the champion, you've got to be able to have some level of mastery on all different types of tracks to be able to be the one laughing the hardest with the biggest trophy at the end of the season.
I'm just listening to some chatter. There may be some people starting to think about pit stops coming down for a service. Lap 70 of 175. So, just have to wait and see Henderson there just into the outside wall as Newman goes underneath him.
Yeah, Brad Newman lapping to just outside the top 10. As you said, putting Britton Henderson a lap down is, I think Colin Bennett almost got the wall off turn 2. Brad opened up a almost 4-second gap to second place for Ruben Phelps.
And then there's a big gap back to Lachlan Urquhart, 5 seconds between him and Ruben.
Yeah, I'm a bit surprised by that. Lockheed's had some fantastic runs at a lot of tracks similar to this, winning at IRP a couple weeks ago, which, isn't all that similar when you really get down to it, but it's another tire intensive, throttle intensive track that you have to be focused at, as I think Ryan Barber got super close to that outside wall as they were getting into turn 1. But yeah, seeing him just within 10 seconds of Newman, it's really highlighting the run that our points leader is having tonight.
I'm just watching Brian at the moment. He's really looked after those tyres in that early stint, part of this stint, where he's been able to get down on that low line and just drive underneath all these guys that he's lapping at the moment, and the car's not sliding around. It's coming off the turn still very good. where the rest of the guys are now really struggling and staying up high.
Yeah, and that's always a tough customer to beat when you look at that truck and see it doing absolutely nothing, looking like Brad Newman is in complete control of that truck. And well, you know, I think we're gonna go ahead and take a breath and take a break and get some advertisements in before we start to get to our first set of green, or probably only set of green flag pit stops here. So we'll see you soon.
Here at TWRS, we're always here to help our squad when they need a little push in the right direction. That's just who we are. We're a beautifully diverse group of goofballs dedicated to driving fake race cars as fast as possible. And we continue to push each other to the front using the power of nonsense. We have one of the strongest NASCAR programs on the service, and you can access it all for $24.99 a month. And we just released individual subscriptions for $14.99 a month for each NASCAR vehicle. We also just added a Rallycross program, and our IndyCar program is taking off as well. So come join the weird side. We have speed and cookies. Cookies are not included in some locations.
If you love the thrill of racing but hate the risks, then buckle up. Everything Simulated is here to merge adrenaline with absolute safety. In a world where technology meets adrenaline, Everything Simulated is revolutionizing driver training with state-of-the-art simulators. From truck training to the thrill of motorsports, our simulators offer the most realistic experiences across all automotive applications. Gone are the days of endless bookwork and basic drills. Now it's all about hands-on, pulse-pounding action that prepares you for the real deal. Whether you're maneuvering a heavy mining vehicle or racing a high-speed car, our simulators, equipped with cutting-edge technology from leaders like SimRigs and TrackRacer, bring every nuance of the drive to life. And talk about making a mark. We're not just building simulators, we're fostering talent. From grassroots motorsports to professional series like the Aussie Outlaw GT3, sponsored by us, Everything Simulated is fueling dreams and careers. Ready to feel the excitement of the racetrack under your fingertips? Connect with us, and let's build your next simulator adventure together. Remember, we support those who support us. Join the Everything Simulated family, and let's race towards the future.
And we are back at Richmond, and so far, still pretty much the same as what we left off. Matty Raymond still trying to make his way past the 194, Ryan Barber. Ryan doing a great job holding him back there, holding on to P4, as Newman continues to stretch the lead out, now up to 5 seconds over P2, Ruben Phelps. And another go on, Mark.
No, I was just going to say, and we've reached that magic number of lap 87. So start to look for guys thinking about coming down pit lane for service, and then that's their pit stop done, and they will not need to come back into pit lane now.
Yes, sir. And now we're going to get into the age-old question, undercut or overcut. Who wants to do what, and what strategy is going to prevail?
Look, if I was Ruben or Lachlan, I'd definitely be thinking about coming in now and getting the undercut, making up some time. So yeah, it's a hard one. It's one of those ones where you've got to pick the right time, and as you come down for service, you got to hope that the guys that are coming out from pit lane don't make a boo-boo on fresh tyres and a full tank of fuel, because you tend to get into a false sense of security where you get new rubber, but you've also got that full tank of fuel again.
Absolutely, and when you've been running 90 plus laps, you get used to how the truck is running at that time, so then you reset with fresh cold tires and a full tank of fuel, and suddenly that truck is driving a heck of a lot different. And if you're not paying attention, you might be once again getting up close and personal to that inside wall as the battle for P4 rages on, and it might be a battle for P3 here. They are not that far behind Lockheed or Quijo. They are about 1 second behind for making this a battle for third place.
Yeah, it's this battle between Barber and Raymond's been going on now for almost 20 laps, so we can see that again.
Yep, Raymond, he's looking. Here comes Matty Raymond to the inside. Barber gonna hang on. Oh, Barber gets the wall. Oh, that's hard contact for the 194. Oh, and they're super close. Oh, Raymond slides up, makes a little bit of contact. I don't know, actually, I think that might have been a lot more than a little bit of contact back to that left-hand side of Ryan Barber. There's a lot of rubbing between the two, and Matty Raymond gonna get the spot, but I can't imagine Ryan Barber's gonna be all too pleased with that move. But move Matty Raymond up to P4, and now he's gonna try to track down his teammate to get up into. Oh, and here comes Ryan Barber. Pit stops half started. Hit folks at home.
So as we follow him down, you've got to say he's going to take probably a churn and a half of fuel and definitely take 4 tyres.
Absolutely. Can't imagine anyone will be thinking 2 tires at this point.
Yeah, as we can see, the right side goes up. Left side goes up, so that definitely says 4 tyres.
Yeah, Ryan Barber off and away, and he has completed his stop. And now, let's see who joins him on pit road. So far, don't think anyone else has. So, Brad Newman has now lapped up to P5. Wow.
And when you see there, sorry, James, just in that pit stop, Ryan Barber dropped 2 laps. Brendan Henderson in for his service.
So it's nervous times for Ryan Barber, hoping that no caution happens, or at the very, very, very least, he catches up Brad Newman to get back to 1 lap down. Because if caution comes out now and he's 2 laps down, yeah, that might well be race over, because 2 laps is a lot harder to get back than just 1.
So right now, the only people that have made their service stop is Barber and Henderson. And Henderson now coming back out, feeding back onto the track.
Yes, sir, Brendan. Right behind Brad Newman. He's going to try to get by that 33 as fast as he can to try to get back to 2 down. See, You see Matty Raymond starting to catch his teammate as...
Race leader in. Race leader is in for service.
Yes, he is. All right, well, it's a bit interesting. Thought for sure Brad Newman would stay out for a while and just go with the overcut with that pretty hefty lead he had, but now it's going to turn the lead of the race over to Ruben Phelps. So, I gotta say, it's definitely not the strategy I would have done if I was Brad Newman. Like, once again, I say this every time. Everyone who watches Inside Lane Productions broadcast knows that I am quite fond of my overcut. And I have seen the overcut work to perfection here before. I have employed it to perfection here before myself. So I feel like, as we see Urquijo making his way down.
Just keep an eye on Phelps. He's still out there. He's circulating at the around 23:06 lap time. So he is struggling a little bit on those tyres. But it's everyone at the moment is been in that 23.5, 23.4. So we'll just have to see how long Phelps wants to stay out, and he just got a little bit loose there coming out of turn 2.
Oh, and a black flag for Ryan Blundell, as he looks like he's serving his penalty now. Matty Raymond getting ready to bring it down pit road. Honestly, if I was Ruben Phelps, I would consider just going as, a decent contact to the outside wall from Colin Bennett.
Sorry, Phelps is in this lap. I just heard. The reason being is Newman now is right on his tail, so he really needs to come in and get that service done. And
there goes. 33 goes on by, and here comes a 06, and I believe that's one of the last cars to pit, because the 55 has already pitted, right, Kobe? Okay, so Dahl has not brought it down to pit road yet. Oh, that's... He is bringing it down right now. He is currently in his box as we speak.
Something must have happened there with Phelps, because he's still in his box.
Yeah, I don't see. He's exiting now. Yeah, he did bring it down one lap after Matty Ray. So, and he's still showing to be ahead of the 83 as well, so good enough stop for the 06 to keep him right around where he was, although Ryan Barber now has jumped up into second place with the undercut, but he is going to have a lot of fresher tires breathing down his neck here, as Ruben Phelps is already less than 2 seconds behind the 194 and coming fast. Bringing it down to getting close to about a second and a half. But man, Brad Newman has lapped all the way up to third place. It's an unbelievable performance from our points leader there, Mark.
Yeah, it definitely is. It's been a masterclass tonight. I'm just looking at his time, his best time. Best time has been set on lap 104 with a 21.8. So there's nothing wrong with those tyres on that truck after his pit stop.
Absolutely not, as we're looking at the best laps right now on the timing tower. And yep, fastest of all, the only one to break into the 21.8s at this point during the race. As you see, that 06 is much closer. He is right on the tail of Ryan Barber, half a second behind.
What we got about? We've got about 10 lap difference in tyres.
Yes, sir, and you're seeing that as, oh, Ryan Barber got the outside wall as he was turning into the corner, and there's Phelps to the inside of Ryan Barber. Phelps is inching ahead as we sail off into turn one, and there he goes. I think Ryan Barber may have done a little bit of a business decision there. Knowing Phelps is on the fresher tires, just let the tires go and he'll settle back into the P3. Still got a ways to go before he has to deal with the next set of fresh tires. Matty Raymond about, what is that, half a track behind Ryan Barber?
Yeah, he's just sitting behind Newman, so he's got a little bit of time to catch up. But Matty Ray will be looking at trying to lap himself there, which by the looks of it is just done.
Yeah, that's so far the undercut is working out phenomenally for Ryan Barber, because he's still got another 8 seconds before he has to worry about Matty Raymond. Alrighty, well, I think it's time we take a break and take a breath one more time now that we've finished up pit stops, and we will see you soon.
Ladies and gentlemen, ready for countdown. 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, ignition.
Man, this is some of the greatest stuff I've ever heard. Ooh.
These go to 11.
Here at TWRS, we're always here to help our squad when they need a little push in the right direction. That's just who we are. We're a beautifully diverse group of goofballs dedicated to driving fake race cars as fast as possible. And we continue to push each other to the front using the power of nonsense. We have one of the strongest NASCAR programs on the service, and you can access it all for $24.99 a month. And we just released individual subscriptions for $14.99 a month for each NASCAR vehicle. We also just added a Rallycross program, and our IndyCar program is taking off as well. So come join the weird side. We have speed and cookies. Cookies are not included in some locations.
And welcome back, and we have about under 50 laps to go in tonight's Southern Thunder Truck Series round 14 at Richmond. And right now, Matty Raymond trying to run down the 194 of Ryan Barber to get onto the bottom step of the podium. See Barber right there sailing it down into turn 1. And that 83 is getting closer. Following in the tire track so far, race leader Brad Newman. Keeping a steady gap back to second place, Ruben Phelps. Ruben on a little bit fresher tires than the race leader, but making minimal inroads on the 33, as Brad Newman has just been lights out tonight. Lights out under the lights here at Richmond.
Yeah, definitely. He's definitely shown a master class of racing here tonight. What gap's now out to 12 seconds over Phelps in second place.
Yeah, and he has the top 3, all but the top 3 one lap down. Just
Yeah, the person there running in 4th place is Matty Ray. He's right in there behind. So if Matty Ray can get in front of him, that'll bring our 4 trucks back on the lead lap. And I think if Matty Ray can get around Newman, he'll set off into the distance after Barber. But if he's going to challenge for that 3rd place, that final podium, he's got to make a move now.
I don't know. I mean, the 33 is clearly a pretty fast truck, and while Matty does have the tire advantage over him, bringing it down a few laps later than Newman, you know, being behind the race leader isn't the worst thing. So if he could, it looks like he was, yeah, that time Newman ended up being a little faster than Matty Raymond and faster again on this lap. So Raymond can continue to hold on to the tailgate of this 33. Should just kind of be able to catch right up to Ryan Barber as these laps continue to wind down. But I tell you, that undercut is working 1,000 times better than I would have expected, especially since Ryan Barber was the first to pit out of anyone in this race.
100%. I didn't think it'd work as well as it has, but he's done a fantastic job staying there in 3rd place. Just keeping an eye on these times. Matty Ray and Newman very close. Again, Matty Ray, that last time by, was quicker than Newman, but they are trading quick times at the moment.
Yeah, the gap between these two on the screen right now really hasn't moved all that much, if any, as this second stint has gone on.
I'm just going to breach on next week's race for the Southern Thunder trucks. Head off to the Milwaukee Mile. Completely different type of racetrack there next week, James. Going from a bank to a fairly flat track.
Yeah, the Milwaukee is such a incredible track. I love the history, as Ryan Barber was riding the wall on the front straightaway again. We got a truck sideways. Man, Colin Bennett was real wiggly off of turn 2. He was having to about near doing the death wobble there, but able to hold on to that 242. But yeah, Milwaukee's going to be a fascinating one. That is not an easy track to deal with. You know, like you said, there's like no banking there. Like it feels like you're racing on a parking lot, and so it's really setup intensive. So you got to make sure that that truck is really working. Otherwise, you are gonna be miserable, and it's once again not an easy place to pass. So next week's race there will be an interesting one to watch.
And what you've got to really watch there too is those bumps out of 1 and 2, or out of 2, and then going into the braking zone in the turn 3. That's another place where if you game, you run the high line, but I kind of sort of remember the quickest line is that bottom line. So it'd be interesting to see how these boys handle the change in banking and the mile.
Yeah, you hit it, the nail on the head there. You really gotta make sure you can fully wrap that, because that's the thing about Milwaukee. It's iconic in the way it looks, because you got that dark strip of asphalt right there in the inside, all the way through the 4 corners, and so you gotta make sure that you're basically all the way in there and getting as close to the curve, that yellow curb there on the inside, as much as you can. Almost feels like it's funny when you realize you're also actually kind of describing Martinsville, but
yeah,
it's neither here nor there. But
I think I might have to pull out the old Mahindra truck next week and come out for a run.
Yeah. Now, what about you, Mark? Do you typically like to get close to the curb, or do you like to hook it?
No, at Milwaukee, I sit on the bottom. I get right on that pole line and really bottom feed there. But as the tyres start to wear, I tend to get up into that mid track, right in the middle of those bumps, out of two and into 3. Really got to watch the bounce there over those bumps.
Yeah, I always tend to hook that curb a lot, especially on the exit 2. I find that it helps me rotate a lot, but I tell you personally, after next week, I'm going to be all Milwaukee'd out, because I have the Silver Crown SOF, a league race there, the Indy Pro SOF, our broadcast for Southern Thunder at Milwaukee. I'm just gonna be all kinds of Milwaukee miled out. I'm gonna look at the word mile and just scream.
At least the following week we're not at Dover.
Honestly, I'd rather be at Dover, but let's go ahead and plug some of the other programming here on Inside Lane Productions. We got Saturday at 10 Eastern, Arca Sparks at Old Phoenix, and I am looking forward to that one. That is one of my favorite and my most successful track on the service, so I am going to be hoping for a good one, and hoping my luck changes there in this series.
Yeah, I don't like the new Phoenix. I much prefer the old Phoenix.
Oh, brother, don't get me started on new Phoenix. We'll be here for another hour and a half, especially that dog leg. But meanwhile, hate to cut this off, but we might be getting a battle for position here soon. Look at there. Matty Raymond is right there behind Ryan Barber. Barber having to let the race leader go by, and here comes Raymond trying to see if he can sneak by. Now a car length is all that separates these two. It was an 8-second advantage for Ryan Barber just about 30 plus laps ago, and now he's going to be fighting like hell trying to hold that 83 off.
And this is now, definitely now for position. So
About near knocking on the rear tailgate of that 194, and here comes Raymond. He's looking to the outside. Oh, now he's looking to the inside. Here he comes. He's going to have position. Oh, nope. Barber going to shut the door. Raymond going high. Looks like he's going to try and cut down and get another run. But he's not going to be close enough for the send. It's a good line from Barber to kind of keep the door closed from Raymond. They get by the lap carve. I think Mark Grocott. Oh, that was almost a bump. Whoa, baby. About near knocking on heaven's door. Matty Raymond. Oh, I think they're almost bump drafting here down the front straightaway. Barber going to sail it off. Go on, Mark.
I know Raymond's.
Whoa! Hold on, we got a truck almost looping it off of turn 2. Tim Blundell having to make a major save, but he gathers it back up and we stay green. All right, continue, my friend.
I was just going to say, I know Raymond's a gentleman racer, but he's not going to take too much more of this, where Ryan's doing what he can to keep Raymond behind him, but Raymond will unload him here if he has to, I think, to get that position. He's back on the inside again now. He just can't get that run off those turns, James.
No, and Barber's doing a great job. He's running defensive, but nothing anywhere close to anything that you would really be irritated about if you're Matty Raymond. But here he goes. He's looking. No, that's going to be. Oh, and he shut the door. Okay, I think I may have spoke too soon about that one. I think Matty's going to be a bit unpleased with that one. That was a bit of a cheeky one there. Although Matty wasn't super duper alongside. Just barely had the front of that Silverado to the inside of Ryan Barber, so oof, I don't know. I'd say maybe that might be. I think that might just be racing there. Mark, what do you think?
Oh, I'd say racing, but a very, very hard racing. Now the other one is that Lachlan Urkleo is now closing in on Team Boss Matty Ray.
Yeah, we'll see if Matty Raymond has anything left to try to run Barber back down. He lost a lot of time having to gather that truck up and probably lost a lot of life on those rear tires. So, can we get the gaps changed to position so we can see? Let's see, Kobe's working on it. No, I just wanted to see how far back Matty is to
point 8
to Ryan. There we go. All right. Oh wow, he is already. Yep, you see, he is already back up on, almost back to Ryan Barber. Less than a second here. He's gonna have about 12 laps to try to get back up to Ryan Barber and maybe try to give a little bit of payback.
Oh, I kind of sort of thinking that if I was in Matty's shoes, if I got up to the rear end there and Ryan did that again, I wouldn't. I'm sorry to say, I wouldn't be backing out of it. Oh, and Barber into the wall, heavy.
That's not going to help. Hey, here he comes.
That's
Matty Raymond shipping it.
Matty Ray, that's given Matty Ray the run, and now Matty Ray sideways out of turn 4.
Well, another massive. Yeah, another massive save from the 83. Oh, this battle's getting aggressive. They are still side by side coming down the back straightaway as we are 10 laps to go, and tonight, they're gonna make more contact. Matty Raymond sliding up just a bit, and still, all kinds of right side romance between these two. Oh, you practically got the 7-Eleven logo on the side of the 83 and the TWRS logo on the side of the 194 as Barber hit the wall again, and now here comes Requisito trying to make his way around.
And this is for position 4 and 5. So Lachlan will be looking at making the move.
Yeah, thankfully they've still got about 4+ seconds back to Dahl in P6, so might just stay a three truck battle here for the most part. Urquijo looking to the outside. He's gonna have position on Barber. He's got the momentum from the high line, and they're side by side going down into turn 1. Urquijo going way up high, maximizing the momentum off of the corner, and he's gonna clear. Great move by Urquijo. Move the 42 up to P4. And man, the great strategy call for Ryan Barber got him up into P3, but now he's back down to P5, but not for a lack of trying. That was a heck of a job from Ryan Barber trying to hold on with much worse tires from these two. That was a unbelievable drive from Ryan Barber to hold them off as long as he did. I thought he was going to be a sitting duck, but man, that was a fantastic effort from the 194.
Yeah, it's just listening to the onboard radios at the moment. Those tyres for Barber are shot.
Yeah, he gave it for all it's worth, but now we might not be done. Now Urquijo wants to get back into P3, where he was running for most of this race, and he's battling with his teammate and team owner, Matty Raymond. And oh, you see Blundell getting sideways again behind. Here we go, Urquijo going high, and he's going to cut down low. Getting ever so closer to the 83 as we are 3 laps to go from Richmond. Raymond continues to hold him off. About half a truck length between these two. Urquijo once again looking to the outside. We are 2 laps to go. Does Urquijo have anything left to try to get up into P3? He is going high once again, really making that middle line work. But Raymond able to carry so much more speed through the... Oh, but Raymond slips up a little bit. Here comes Urquijo looking to the inside as we are white flag. Final lap at Richmond. These two continue to battle tooth and nail for P3 as Brad Newman is about to wrap up a unbelievably dominant performance here at Richmond. Checker flag, Brad Newman wins at Richmond, and Urquijo looking to the inside. He's got a nose to inside of Raymond, but Matty Ray is going to hold on. Photo finish at the line. P3 goes to Matty Raymond. Oh, what a phenomenal battle. But here is your race winner. Just, man, I don't even know what kind of superlatives I can use for a performance like that. He just absolutely took it to this field. I mean, we barely even saw him tonight because he was in his own zip code.
Yeah, 10.5 second win over P2. That's not a driving. That's a masterclass.
Yeah, that's a curb stomping, honestly. Alrighty, well, we thought we were gonna get some burnouts, but apparently not. Well, let's go ahead. Your finishing order for tonight's race: Brad Newman in dominating the race, bringing it home in P1. Ruben Phelps and Matty Raymond, your podium finishers, and then Lucky Urquijo and Ryan Barber rounding out the top 5. Kute Dahl in 6th, Colin Bennett in 7th, Tim Blundell 8th, Brad Wright 9th, Bretton Henderson rounding out the top 10. And take it away, Mark.
Sorry, just look. 11th, Brian Blundell. 12th, Mark Grocott. 13th, Zach Blundell, and unfortunately Peter Jones never took the green flag, so unfortunate for him. I know you guys don't normally do it, but I'm going to put it out there, and I think I think it's something we should really look at. Driver of the race for me tonight has been Colin Bennett. As you said, James, only buying the track moments before going green, started in 11th and finished in 7th, and only 2 laps down. I think that is an absolute fantastic drive from you tonight.
Absolutely, and he said he was gonna do terrible tonight. All right,
I think he was just lying.
Yeah. All right. Well, I think we're going to take one last quick ad break here as we get our top 3 up in for interviews. So we'll see you soon.
Here at TWRS, we're always here to help our squad when they need a little push in the right direction. That's just who we are. We're a beautifully diverse group of goofballs dedicated to driving fake race cars as fast as possible. And we continue to push each other to the front using the power of nonsense. We have one of the strongest NASCAR programs on the service, and you can access it all for $24.99 a month. And we just released individual subscriptions for $14.99 a month for each NASCAR vehicle. We also just added a Rallycross program, and our IndyCar program is taking off as well. So come join the weird side. We have speed and cookies. Cookies are not included in some locations.
The future of virtual motorsports is now. This September, the heart of sim racing beats in Chicagoland as the Sim Gaming Expo takes over the Schaumburg Convention Center, September 5th through the 7th. Go wheel to wheel in our competition area, test the latest gear, meet top brands, creators, and celebrate with fellow sim racing enthusiasts. Whether you're a seasoned sim racer or new to the sport, this is your chance to be part of history. To purchase tickets and see the full exhibitor lineup, visit simgamingexpo.com.
If you love the thrill of racing but hate the risks, then buckle up. Everything Simulated is here to merge adrenaline with absolute safety. In a world where technology meets adrenaline, Everything Simulated is revolutionizing driver training with state-of-the-art simulators. From truck training to the thrill of motorsports, our simulators offer the most realistic experiences across all automotive applications. Gone are the days of endless bookwork and basic drills. Now it's all about hands-on, pulse-pounding action that prepares you for the real deal. Whether you're maneuvering a heavy mining vehicle or racing a high-speed car, our simulators, equipped with cutting-edge technology from leaders like SimRigs and TrackRacer, bring every nuance of the drive to life. And talk about making a mark. We're not just building simulators, we're fostering talent. From grassroots motorsports to professional series like the Aussie Outlaw GT3, sponsored by us, Everything Simulated is fueling dreams and careers. Ready to feel the excitement of the racetrack under your fingertips? Connect with us, and let's build your next simulator adventure together. Remember, we support those who support us. Join the Everything Simulated family, and let's race towards the future.
Alrighty, and we are back with our third place finisher of Maddie Raymond. Maddie, I tell you that the whole second half of the race between you and Ryan Barber was unbelievable. First, take us through the hunt trying to run him down on the different strategy there.
Oh, you know, mate, just tortoise in the hair sort of thing. Old buck versus the young one. Just a case of, like, yeah, staying consistent, looking after the tyre. And I could see him on the relative after a while. And I did the maths and I was like, yeah, I'll get to him. It's just a matter of passing him. And then, yeah, when that came to it, he didn't want to let me pass too easy, so I had to force the issue a bit. But that's racing, Ben. We didn't wreck or nothing, so it's all good news.
Yeah.
And, yeah.
Yeah, take us through that, because we saw the two of you get really close there here towards the end, and you also kind of got real close there earlier in the race too. Just a whole lot of trading paint between those two trucks.
Yeah, that's just racing as it is, sort of thing. I think earlier in the race, was I under him? I can't really remember. There was a moment there where I got pretty free under someone and just touched off, I think.
Yep, it was him.
Okay, so yeah, no, I was just getting a bit too hard on the brakes, trying to pull it up so I didn't, take out, or all of us go up into the fence and take out all 10, 20 cars, whatever. So yeah, it's just more a case trying to stay off of people when you're under them, and it gets a bit free, gets a bit loose sometimes. But we all held it together and had some good racing. So yeah, very happy to come away with third.
Yeah, and you also had one last battle there for good measure, trying to hold off Lockie and hang on to that P3.
Oh yeah. I saw him sort of lurking about. Like when I came out of the pits, he was catching up to me a bit while everything was warming up, and then I sort of gapped him, and I didn't really think of him. And then when I got tangled up with Ryan for a little bit, and I lost a bit of time fighting him, sort of thing, I saw him come zooming up behind me. I thought, oh, here we go. So yeah, come down to the last couple of laps, and he's like, I'll get you. I'm like, nah, you won't. And yeah, we had a good little fight at the end there. So yeah, it was good fun. I was expecting him to give me a bit of bumper on that. They had 3 and 4 there. Like I was sort of bracing for it, but yeah, he couldn't get to me. He was saying, so no, it was good fun.
Yeah, that was a blast to watch you tonight make your way up through the field. But any sponsors, plugs, and shout-outs you'd like to give?
Always, my man. Of course, first and foremost, TWRS providing us sets again all week. We've been having good races and speed and all that in the officials, and we got Scotcher Race Fuels, Cut 6 Sticker Code, Tourette Syndrome, and Alopecia Foundation, and Ray down at Moondog as well. And you guys were putting on the broadcast, of course, Inside Lane, and all the sponsors involved there, everything simulated, and Doogie, and Scotcher again, TWRS again. I think everyone sort of chips in a lot, so yeah, massive thank yous to them guys and Kobe and everyone. So, and I think, and of course the team SRM. I don't really thank them too much, so I've got to thank them lads for putting in the legs behind the scenes and getting some laps in with me and working on the set and trying to make it better and all that. So, yeah, thanks everyone.
Alrighty, well, we appreciate you, Matty, and hopefully we're talking to you again next week.
Yeah, a bit of luck, I'll be here, mate. Thank you.
Alright, there's your third place finisher, Matty Raymond, and trying to toss over to my broadcast partner for our second place finisher.
Yeah, just have to get Kobe to pull him up, and here he is, the pilot of the 06 P2 tonight, Mr. Ruben Phelps, the Flying Kiwi. Welcome to the booth, mate, and congratulations on second place.
Yeah, that was a very long race, I can tell you. Well, it felt like it anyway.
I think it was a long race because that Brad Newman just kind of sort of left everyone in his wake tonight. You stayed with him in the early part of the race, but he just kind of sort of drove away tonight.
Yeah, as soon as you lose, or have that trap position, it's very, very, very hard to sort of, pass, just because of the dirty air does really affect, the truck as soon as you're in it. So, but once he sort of got away, I mean, you just got to keep going. But as soon as he got away, it was felt like I was just driving by myself. It wasn't that exciting, to be honest.
Well, mate, to be honest, for the most part, you were tonight. But people just don't understand how much that dirty air does play a role on these short tracks, especially.
Oh yeah, there's like, you can sit around, about 2 truck lengths behind, just chilling and, looking after the tyre, looking after your stuff, and then you can see that you're starting to build up a run and you're getting a bit more speed and you're starting to catch back up, and then as soon as you get to a truck a length, the front end starts you start losing the front and you get tight, and then sometimes it'll jump loose out of nowhere, and you're back to square one, 2 car truck lengths again, and you're back to where you were when you started. So, but
Yeah.
that's why you somewhat need a tyre advantage, but you don't really get much of a choice really. Is when if you got at least 5-second gap, it's pretty much settled, because you can just cruise, and as soon as they catch up, you can go. So that's pretty much what Newman had. He had 13 seconds on me. I got to about 9.5, and it plateaued about the last 10 laps.
Yeah, it definitely did. Well, we're off to the Milwaukee Mile next week. From memory here, and from past racing with you and commentating, you don't mind the mile. So, how are you going to go into next week's race, Ruben?
Do like I always do, fluke it.
I think more there than just fluking, Ruben.
Yeah, no, I don't really like. I'll do a couple of races here and there, but I'm just sort of, it is what it is. But yeah, for whatever reason, Milwaukee does seem to suit me a bit. I think it's just because of more throttle, like being able to sort of roll through the corners is just sort of my style, more than just sort of stop and gas and stop sort of thing. But should be a fun race either way. But it's hard to say what the race is going to be like, if it's going to be sort of like tonight, where it's just going to be follow the leader and whatnot, or be a couple of cautions, which will be nice, if having a couple of cautions just to sort of mix things up. But
I'll tell you what, I'll come out and race.
yeah. There's your 14 cautions right there, right?
Got to match the number on the car.
Exactly.
Mate, no, congratulations again. Another good points race for you tonight. But before we let you go, shout out to sponsors and supporters.
Of course, you guys are putting the broadcast on. Of course, TWRS. We've got Scotch's Race Fuel, Cut 6 Sticker Co., Moondog, and our 2 charities, TS3 Australia and Australia Alopecia.
All right, mate. Thanks again for joining us tonight, and again, congratulations on second place tonight.
Thank you.
All right, James. We'll get Mr. Newman up here, and you can take on the interview with him.
Yes, sir. All right, Brad Newman, James in the booth. You got a copy?
Yeah, g'day, mate.
Well, that was a dominant drive from you. Just take us through your day, because it almost looked like you were having a Sunday drive out there.
Thanks, mate. Yeah, I quite enjoy the short tracks, any corners with a bit of braking in them. Quite like. The car was good, so didn't have too much to worry about, didn't have to touch anything. Long green flag run, just got to lock in and roll around for, 175 laps and pop out at the other end.
Yeah, how refreshing is it to have a race at a short track, especially one like Richmond that can get pretty wacky at times, end up going full 175 laps green?
I don't know if I've ever seen that one before at Richmond go green for that long. It'd probably be a first.
Yeah, and take us through your strategy there too, because I gotta say I was a bit surprised with how early you brought it down to pit road. I was thinking, especially with the lead you had over Phelps, I figured you would for sure at least wait in another 10 laps or so to bring it down pit road.
My plan was to just cover him off, even by a few laps if I had to, but I was out of fuel. I had like a lap of fuel left when I came in.
Oh, wow. Okay, well that makes a lot more sense now, but yeah, once again, Brad.
Just going to interrupt there. That actually falls straight into that fuel window that I spoke about earlier, of 105 to 108 laps. So our little spies that we got running around the pit lane at the moment is not telling us pork pies.
Well, that's good. You got some good information. Maybe I was a bit harder on the throttle pedal than the others, but yeah, because I noticed that some of them went what 4 or 5 laps longer or something. It was pretty good effort actually. But yeah, no, I wasn't sure if I'd get an extra lap. It was going to be close, but I had about a lap left when I came in.
Alrighty, well, thank you for answering those questions that we were having, but yeah, once again, fantastic job, Brad. Any sponsors, plugs, and shoutouts you'd like to give?
Just you guys as always for putting these events on, making it possible, and the guys at Lobs Esports. Thank you.
Alright, well, we appreciate you, Brad, and hopefully we're talking to you again next week.
Sounds good, fellas. Cheers.
Alrighty, and there's your race winner, 33 of Brad Newman. And got a couple more things to talk about before we head off for tonight. Gotta plug our other bit of upcoming programming here on Inside Lane Productions. We got the next round of the Oz Oval Series at the lovely Auto Club Speedway in Fontana. Last season's race there was unbelievable and was non-stop thrills in action, so I'm going to be looking forward to that. I know Mark's going to be looking forward to that as well. And gotta give one last shout out to Team Watson Racing Setups. Use code WATSPIN39 for 10% off at checkout. And let me go to Mark for his final thoughts on tonight's evening.
Well, as I said, mate, driver of the race has to go to Bennett, and I am just also dumbfounded over Newman's fastest lap of the race on lap 104. Absolutely brilliant. And again, thanks guys for having me into the booth, and hopefully I can join you again in the near future.
Here's hoping. I tell you, I wouldn't be disappointed if you're back in the booth again. But as always, I am James Watson for my broadcast partner, Mark, Joe, and Kobe in the producer seat. I'm James Watson, and good night from Richmond Raceway.